The following is a production of the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network. Van Buren Warrior Baseball is coming your way on 92.7 KTWA. Now, let's head down to the field with the voice of your Van Buren County Warriors, Shan Moquin.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in once again. On behalf of the Atomo Radio Sports Group Network and its affiliated stations, I'd like to welcome you this evening to another streaming and radio broadcast presentation of Van Buren County Warrior Baseball. We got Mr. Kyle Smith running the board for us back at the studio, making the broadcast run smoothly for us tonight. And I am alongside my cameraman and on-site producer, Mr. A.J. Rowe. My name is Shan Moquin, your radio voice of the Warriors, back again for the sports seasons of the 2024-25 school year. It'll be all of our pleasures to be with you on the call this evening. Tonight, the Warriors are on the road as we're over here about an hour and 15 or so, hour and a half to the east and a little bit north of Keosauqua. We're in Mediapolis, Iowa, and the Warriors are in town. And Mediapolis Bulldogs going to be playing host to them tonight in the opening conference game of the year in the South Division of the Southeast Iowa Super Conference. First pitch was set for roughly 7:30. Looks like they're running a little bit ahead of schedule. Mediapolis taking infield right now, so we're starting the pregame show a little bit early. This season, Van Buren County Warrior Baseball is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. Follow them on Facebook. Ryan Wolf, your seed dealer. Van Buren Community School District, where they have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride countywide. Dowd's Lumber and Home Center, the County Warriors. Dowd's Quick Stop of Dowd's for gas and all the convenience and daily food specials. Van Buren County Hospital, Simply Remarkable. And finally, Wasco Hardware, located on Main Street, Keosauqua. Stop in and see their showroom. And for everybody listening in tonight, a couple of ways you can tune into the broadcast. We're streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube page. Also, over the air at your home for today's hits and yesterday's favorites, 92.7 at KTWA. So either way, you're choosing to make the broadcast part of your evening. Hey, a big thanks for doing so. We couldn't do it without you. This is the Warrior Baseball pregame show, and that is sponsored by Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. Follow them on Facebook. Ryan Wolf, your seed dealer. Let's go over those other in-game sponsors with you real quick. The postgame show will be sponsored by the Van Buren County Community School District. Starting lineups tonight brought to you by Dowd's Lumber and Home Center. The first pitch, Cranston Family Funeral Home. All the innings, 1 through 7 if necessary, brought to you by Smithburg Automotive. Player of the game, Milo and his team at Wells Hometown Drug will have that one. Crane Concrete Ready Mix has my coaches' interviews throughout the year. Had one last night with head coach Shane Bagley and Kinnick Miller, nice enough to stop by after the game. Any pitching change tonight by the Warriors, sponsored by Pilot Grove Savings Bank. The strikeouts by the Warrior pitchers, sponsored by Dowd's Quick Stop. And any home runs by the Warrior batters, sponsored by the Van Buren County Hospital. We'll start the pregame off here with, let's do a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back and break down both teams. And we got lots more to get to on the pregame show, including that breakdown of both teams, starting lineups, the pitching matchup. We'll go over all of that and more still to come here in the Warrior Baseball pregame show brought to you by Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. We'll be right back with you after this 2-minute break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air, 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 2 minutes.
Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
This is Jeremy with Cranston Family Funeral Home. I want to take a moment and say thank you, not for choosing our funeral home, although we're deeply honored when you do, but for showing up for your neighbors, for supporting small businesses, for standing in line at visitations and hugging people you maybe haven't seen in years. That is what makes our communities feel like home. At Cranston Family Funeral Home, we don't believe in flashy promises. We believe in showing up quietly, respectfully, and doing the work that matters when it matters most. So from our family to yours, thank you. We see you, we are grateful for you, and we'll be here when you need us.
Are Are you thinking about or ready to build that home or shop or deck that you've been dreaming about? Come see us at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center in Dowd's, and we will transform your dreams into reality. By using our 3D computer-aided design system, you can see and walk through your dream project. After your project is designed, we can generate a detailed material list to see if it fits within your budget. Contact Mike or Josh at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center to get your project started today. 641-936-7115 or check us out at dowdslumber.com.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissom. Spring sports season, senior awards, start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
Alrighty, and we're back with you from Mediapolis, Iowa tonight, getting set for boys high school varsity baseball. The Van Buren County Warriors in town to take on the Mediapolis Bulldogs. Let's continue with the Iowa-Missouri seed Warrior baseball pregame show. Right back into it with a breakdown of both teams. Warriors just taking infield, started to take infield just a little bit ago. This is by Josh Gunn and Colby Whitaker. Next action for them, May 30th, That'll be tomorrow, Friday, at Burlington, Notre Dame for Mediapolis, a 7:30 p.m. first pitch there. They are the Mediapolis Bulldogs in boys high school varsity baseball. Overall record on the year, they're 3-0. This is their home opener. They've won 3 games on the road. Have yet to play a neutral site game. Mediapolis competes in Class 2A, the Southeast Iowa Super Conference South Division. Have come over Fort Madison, New London, and Wilton. That was their last time out yesterday, Wednesday, May 28th. A 13-0 win at Wilton for the Mediapolis Bulldogs. Let's take a look at some of their leading players in those key statistical category areas that I'd like to review. Leading him in batting average this year, Lance Luden's 667, although I've heard he's with the soccer team competing in the tournament, so he's not here tonight. Will Lutenegger at 600, and Henry Lutenegger at 417. Those are some pretty gaudy batting averages in this early season for Mediapolis. Hits leaders, Will Lutenegger with 6, Henry Lutenegger with 5, Griffin, Doty, and Ludens, 3 players with 4 hits. RBI leaders, Kyler Crow has 5, Max Griffin with 4, and there are 2 players, Oliver and Ludens, each with 3 RBIs on this young season. Steals leaders, Braden Oliver with leaders for Mediapolis. Max Griffin, a 0.00 ERA so far on the year, 8 innings pitched. Kyler Crow, also a 0.00 ERA in 5 innings pitched. 11 batters, he's also won 2 games on the mound to lead them there. Mediapolis averaging 9.7 runs per game. They're giving up only 2. The team batting average is 296. The team on-base percentage, 448. The team slugging is 380, is 945, and the team ERA is a sparkling 0.91 runs. A 5-4 and an 8-3 win in those 2 respective matchups. All right, let's turn our attention to the Warriors. Head coach is Shane Bagley, assisted by Bryson Starnes and Andrew Lowry. Next action for us is tomorrow, Friday, May 30th. Back at home at the Ferguson Sports, we're going to take on West Burlington at 5:30 p.m. first pitch. That's tomorrow night, back in Keosauqua. They are the Van Buren County Warriors in boys high school varsity baseball. Overall record on the year is 0-2. They're 0-1 at home, 0-1 on the road. Have yet to play a neutral site game. They compete in Class 1A, the Southeast Iowa Super Conference, 7-3. Last time out, like I said, that was Wednesday, May 28th. 11-3 loss back at home at the Ferguson to Mount Pleasant for the Warriors. Let's take a look at some leading players for Van Buren County this year. And I've mostly turned everything over to this year's stats, maybe a few of last year's stats sprinkled in, but I'll do my best to relay them to you. Batting average on the season, Will Coral at 400, Isaac Leffler at 333, and Kinnick Millard at 333 also. Hits leaders so far on the season for the Warriors, Will Coral 16, Will Coral had 13, Kinnick Millard with 12 RBIs. Those last 3 were stats from last year. Isaac Leffler has 2 steals on the bases. Aiden McEntee has scored 2 runs to lead Van Buren County in both of those categories. ERA leaders, let's see. Aiden McEntee, 0.00 in 5 innings pitched. Batting 6 is number 11, Eli McKinney. Batting 6 is number 11, Eli McKinney, a junior in center field. Batting 7th is a junior in center field. Batting 7th is number 6, Dan Cast. Number 6, Dan Kasten, a freshman at first base. Batting 8th is number 7, Leo Urach, a freshman at first base. Batting 8th is number 7, Leo Urach, a freshman playing second base. And finally, batting 9th is number 4, Gavin Knoll, seeing his first action of the year, a junior. He's out in right field. Again, for the Warriors, it's Leffler, McAtee, Millard, Coral, Kite, McKinney, Kasten, Urach, and Knoll. All right, for Mediapolis, let's take a look at their starting lineup. Leading off is number 1, Gannon Gunn, a junior, playing shortstop. Batting second is number 17, Will Lutenegger, a junior, at third base. Batting third is number 6, Kyler Crow, another junior. He's on the mound for Mediapolis tonight. In the cleanup spot is number 3, Peyton Doty, a senior. He's behind the plate. Batting fifth is number 22, Max Griffin, Jr. at first.
Chicken pizza or classic cheeseburger and fries combo. Craving something sweet? Our ice cream is on and is the best around. Dive into our spring fun with our specialty pizza starting at $17.99. Visit us today in Dowds and follow us on Facebook at Dowds Quick Stop for more delicious deals. Stop by for a quick taste of spring.
From backyard barbecues to lake getaways, summer is all about making memories. At Pilot Grove Savings Bank, we make it easy to enjoy the season with stress-free banking that fits your lifestyle. Mobile banking on the go? Check. Easy loan options for home upgrades or vacations? Check. Friendly local service you can count on? Always. Make the most of your summer. Bank with Pilot Grove Savings Bank. Visit us at pilotgrovesavingsbank.com or stop by any of our 17 locations. Pilot Grove Savings Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114 because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114 or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
All right, back with you from Mediapolis, Iowa this evening. We'll continue the Iowa Missouri Seeds Warrior Baseball pregame show. Umpires coming out right now. They're going to meet with the coaches and exchange lineup cards at home plate. We've been through the starting lineups. Wanted to take a look at the pitching matchup tonight. Let's start with the pitcher the Warriors are going to be facing, Kyler Crow, Jr. from Mediapolis. He wears number 6, and he's pitched in 2 games this year. He has not started either one of them without a record or a save. 5 innings pitched, 71 total pitches, 20 official at-bats against him with a 0.50 average. Pretty good there. Given up 1 hit, 2 runs. Neither of those earned, walked 2, hit 2 batters, struck out 5 with a 0.00 ERA. That's Crow pitching for Mediapolis tonight. Let's take a look at the Warriors pitcher, number 9, Will Coral, the sophomore this year. Let's take a look at his line from last year. He hasn't pitched at all this year. Pitched in 10 games last year, started 6 of them with a 1-4 record without a save, 26 total innings pitched, 539 total pitches, 147 official at-bats against him. He gave up a 177 average. Gave up 26 hits, 40 runs, 24 of those earned, 28 base on balls. He hit 15 batters, struck out 23 with a 6.46 ERA for Coral. That was last year. All right. Like I said, umpires and coaches are meeting at home plate right now and exchanging the lineup cards. We got through everything about that I wanted to here in the Iowa Missouri Seeds Warrior Baseball pregame show. So we should be started here momentarily. Busy week for Warrior Baseball continues. Tomorrow night, we're back at the Ferguson Sports Complex in Keosauqua for a 5:30 first pitch varsity start against West Burlington. And another conference game for the Warriors. Then on Saturday, we're over at the Davis County Varsity Classic at the Mustang Sports Complex. It's on the western edge of Bloomfield, a little bit to the west of Keosauqua, about a half an hour takes to get over there. And we play the second game of the day at 12:30 against Fairfield. Then depending on if we win or lose, if we lose, we'll turn around and play back-to-back. If we win, we'll have a game off and then play the final game of the day somewhere around 5 o'clock-ish. depending on how long those games go. You could have a rain delay, you could have a short game, an extra inning game. You never know how it's going to go, but the start times are listed for 10, 12:30, 3, and 5:30. So we'll see how that goes at the Davis County Varsity Classic on Saturday. Then next Monday, I think Winfield Mount Union is in town. Got a day off Tuesday next week, and then Wednesday's the Big Field of Dreams game against Fort Madison. So we're really looking forward to that. I'm not going to get out any farther than that. Just a heads up for all the Warrior viewers and fans out there, if you're looking to follow Warrior baseball throughout the season or just tune into a specific game, make sure you check all your media outlets, the activity calendar on the school's website, check Varsity Bound. The starting times are a little bit different than last year. They're kind of all over the place this year, so I don't want you guys to miss anything. But most of the games at Ferguson are 5:30 for varsity. A few are going to be 7 or 7:30. And we go on the road. It looks like we've got some different starting times as well. So apparently that agreement with the Southeast Iowa Super Conference starting all the varsity at 5:30 is they threw it out the window just by looking at the schedule. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Just the starts for our games this year are way less consistent than they were last year at 5:30. So just make sure you check in, and don't want you to miss any action for Warrior, all the Warrior baseball fans out there. Well, they're still talking at home plate. I think we'll probably throw in another break here. The Mediapolis will take the field and take their final warm-ups before the Warriors come to bat. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost 25 after, so they may be pausing it a little bit to get the start closer to a 7:30, which I appreciate. Lets me get all my information in on this Iowa-Missouri Seed Warrior Baseball pregame show. So let's take, it's going to take them a couple of minutes, I think, to get going here. So let's take one more 2-minute break, then we'll be back for first pitch. We've got to do the national anthem as well. So a couple-minute break, then we'll be back with you from Mediapolis, that much closer to first pitch. You're listening to Warrior Baseball, and you're tuned in to it on the Tumble Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you, hopefully, for the first pitch after this 2-minute break.
Van Buren County Hospital is a proud supporter of Van Buren County Community School District Athletics. The contributions you make to your team, your school, and your community are appreciated and valued by all of us at Van Buren County Hospital. We want to wish you a successful sports season, and we'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Go Warriors! For all of your healthcare needs, Van Buren County Hospital is here for you. Find us online at vbch.org.
Hi, I'm Cody Crane with Crane Concrete Ready Mix. If you're tired of not mattering to the big corporate companies, then call us. When you work with us, you won't be on a waiting list. We can get you concrete when you need it. We are a family-owned business, offer competitive prices, and are easy to work with. We deliver to Davis, Wapello, Van Buren, and Jefferson counties. Work with a company that will take care of you. Call me, Cody Crane, at 641-919-1350.
At Smithburg Automotive, driving adventures allow you to explore comfortably, safely, and in every aspect of your summer vacation. Smithburg Automotive in Fairfield, schedule your vehicle's trip check today. Call 641-472-2454, 641-472-2454.
Smithburg Automotive in Fairfield. Get your trip check scheduled today. Call 641-472-2454. That's 641-472-2454.
This is Milo Wells with Wells Hometown Drug in Bloomfield. Our goal here is to go above and beyond your expectations for the role that a pharmacy can play in you and your family's health. Since we have opened here, many things have changed. We've added experienced staff, updated our facilities, added clinical services like strep throat test and treat, and free liquid medication flavoring. One thing that has not changed is the vision of providing our patients with access to the best pharmacy services anywhere in the state. We, like many of you, believe Southeast Iowa is an amazing place to live, and we will continue to be committed to improving the lives of our patients.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
All righty, we're back with you once again from Mediapolis, Iowa this evening for Southeast Iowa Super Conference South Division Baseball. Starting lineups getting introduced by the Mediapolis PA announcer right now. We'll go through those lineups for you once again. For the Warriors tonight, it's Leffler, McAtee, Millard, Coral, Kite, McKinney, Caston, Urach, and Knoll. And Sophomore Will Coral is going to be on the mound for the Warriors, his first pitching action of the season. Blaine Benjamin and Isaiah Meek not with the Warriors tonight. They should return tomorrow. We can go over the subs on the bench for the Warriors. Keegan Young, Nolan Harriman, Caden Simmons, Marion Yoder, Aiden Cooper, and Jake Reed. Those are the subs on the bench for the Warriors. Let's go over that starting lineup for you one more time. For Mediapolis, it's Gannon Gunn, Will Lutenegger, Kyler Crow, Peyton Doty, Max Griffin, Henry Lutenegger, Braden Oliver, Kale Wishmeyer, the DH for Brock Spears, and then Hayden Googler. So that's Gunn, Will Lutenegger, Crow, Doty, Griffin, Henry Lutenegger, Oliver, Wishmeyer for Spears, and Googler. Subs on the bench for Mediapolis, Reed Sandberg, Griffin Mahaffey, Tanner Anderson, Lance Ludens is not here, and I don't think Quincy King is either. So now we're going to get to the national anthem. I'll turn my headset aside. We will listen to our national anthem. All right, another fine rendition of our national anthem here at Mediapolis. Got the pregame show, sponsored by Iowa Missouri Seeds, just about complete. Went through a lot of information for you. Breakdown of both teams, the starting lineups, the pitching matchup. So we covered everything just about that I wanted to. Mediapolis taking the field now to complete their final infield warm-ups. And we're just about ready for our first pitch. Go over a weather report with you. It's about 70 degrees, partly cloudy, 54% humidity, winds north at 8 miles per hour. They're pretty light. Nice backdrop here at Mediapolis Ball Fields. Looking out into the Iowa sunset here in southeast Iowa this Thursday evening, May 29th. Kyler Crow on the mound for Mediapolis. He's in the midst of his warm-up tosses. The Warriors last night a loss, 11-3 to Mount Pleasant. Mediapolis got a win, 13-0 over Wilton to move their record to 3-0 on the year. Warriors still looking for their first win. Mediapolis 1-0 in the conference as they got a win over New London. So Burlington Notre Dame has a win in the conference in the South Division. So does Mediapolis, New London, and Danville with the losses. First conference action for the Warriors here tonight. All right. There goes the throw down to second base. We're just about ready to get things started here. First pitch. It's going to be brought to you by Cranston Family Funeral Home, Irish Ridge Cremation, and Monument Sales. Jeremy and the staff there. They're in Fairfield and Keosauqua. The three for the Warriors due up here in the first. The top of the first, Leffler, McAtee, and Millard. Isaac Leffler wears number 3. He's a senior playing on the third base tonight. Last night versus Mount Pleasant, he was 1 for 2 with a single, a walk. He also reached on an error and scored a run for the Warriors in an 11-3 loss to the Mount Pleasant Panthers. Isaac from the right side, just about ready to step in there. And now he's in the batter's box, and we are set to go. Crow ready. He'll work out of the stretch, and here he comes. First pitch is a called strike one to Leffler. 0-1 the count. First pitch tonight, 7:29, just about right at 7:30. I appreciate that. Let me get all my pregame show in. 0-1 to Leffler. Curl ready again. Kicks the left leg. Here he comes. Bounce that one in there. Skips off the catcher to the right. Count even at 1-1. McAtee out of the on-deck circle to get that ball and flip it back to the ump. Crow has a new baseball. Leffler back in there. He's got the sign and the 1-1. Breaking ball, too far high and inside. Isaac ahead now, 2-1 in the count. Crow is ready. So was Leffler. Here comes the 2-1. That one bounced towards second, gloved, and thrown over to first by Googler to Griffin. And they retire Isaac Leffler 4-3 on the putout, first out of the game. Up next for the Warriors, batting second in the order, number 1, Aiden McEntee, the senior, out in left field tonight. He's in there from the left side. Crow's first offering to him, called strike one on McEntee. McEntee last night against Mount Pleasant, 1 for 2, a single, a walk. He also reached on an air and had 2 runs scored, leading the Warriors in that category this season. He's down in the count, 0-1 to Kyler Crow, who lifts the left leg and coming back to him. That one taken for a ball by Aiden. Count even at 1-1 to him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on as we just are underway. Top of the first here for Mediapolis. McEntee watched a called strike inside part of the plate. 1-2 to Aiden. Crow coming back to him. McEntee grounds that one to short. Gunn scoops, throws, and got him at first base. That's Gannon Gunn over to Max Griffin. McEntee, the second out of the inning, retired 6-3 on the putout. Batting third for the Warriors is number 2, Kinnick Millard, the sophomore shortstop. Bases empty, 2 out here, top of the first. Crow to Millard. Caught the outside corner on a fastball. 0-1. Crow ready again. Here comes the 0-1 to Millard. That one bounced in there a little bit. Too low. Count even at 1-1 to Kinnick. Millard was 2 for 4 with 2 singles, also a couple of strikeouts last night against Mount Pleasant. Leffler was batting .333 on the year. McEntee 200. Here's the pitch to Millard. Check swing called strike. And Kinnick Millard .333 on the year. Get those averages in there. 1-2 to Kinnick now. So Kyler Crow looking to retire him 1-2-3 here in the top of the first, and the pitch. Millard swings and misses. It's an unsecured third strike. Catcher got to pick it up, and Millard's trotting down to first, but they'll throw down and retire Kinnick. 1-3 on the unsecured strikeout. They get him at first base. Third out of the inning, Will Cordell will lead off for the Warriors in the top of the second. Kyler Crow, 12 pitches to get through that first inning. All right, we're scoreless through in half an inning. The Warriors will go out on defense. Mediapolis coming to the plate for the first time when we come back after this 1-minute break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
Are you thinking about or ready to build that home or shop or deck that you've been dreaming about? Come see us at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center in Dowd's, and we will transform your dreams into reality. By using our 3D computer-aided design system, you can see and walk through your dream project. After your project is designed, we can generate a detailed material list to see if it fits within your budget. Contact Mike or Josh at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center to get your project started today. 641-936-7115 or check us out at dowdslumber.com.
Hi, this is Amanda Manning Morris. Farmers and ranchers, we know your work is the backbone of our community. At First Iowa State Bank of Keosauqua, we're proud to offer ag lending solutions tailored to your needs. Whether it's land, equipment, or operational expenses, we've got the tools to help your operation grow. With competitive rates, flexible terms, and local experts who understand agriculture, we're here to support you every step of the way. Partner with a bank that knows the land and stands by its people. First Iowa State Bank, your ag lending partner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
We are back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa. Through a half an inning of play, Warriors failed to score in the top of the first. Mediapolis coming to the plate here in the bottom of the first. It'll be Gannon Gunn, Will Lutenegger, Kyler Crow, 1, 2, 3 in the order, due up for the Mediapolis Bulldogs here. And umpire right now giving the Warrior catcher, Creek Kite, a chance to adjust his equipment before they finish the warm-up tosses from Will Coral. And there goes the throw down to second base, so we're just momentarily away from starting the bottom of the first here. Saw last night, head coach Mike Bainbridge of the Warrior Boys track and field team had me streaming on his big TV on his deck, so I appreciate that, Coach Bainbridge. If you're listening in again tonight, hey, just a shout out to you for giving the Warriors your support. And more people are starting to find out about our streaming capability, and lots of viewers last night, so that's a good thing. All right, here we go. Coral ready. Here's the first pitch, swing and a miss to number 1, Gannon Gunn. 0-1 to him. He's playing shortstop tonight for Mediapolis, the junior, batting .071 on the year. Coral, the lefty, is on the mound tonight for Van Buren County. He lifts the right leg, coming home out of the windup. That one too low and inside. Evening the count at 1-1 to Gannon Gunn. Warrior defense in the outfield, left to right. McIntyre, McKinney, and Gavin Noel out there and right. Here comes the next offering. Too far outside off the outside corner. 2-1 now to Gannon Gunn, the Mediapolis leadoff hitter. Third to first for the Warriors. Leffler, Millard, Urach, and Caston. Creek Kite behind the plate. Next offering, nubbed foul towards the Warrior dugout. That'll even the count at 2-2. Gunn, a right-handed batter. Coral's first pitching action of the year on a beautiful night here for Mediapolis, and here he comes. Breaking ball, broke one off, nicely caught him looking. And Gannon Gunn, a strikeout victim for the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Will Coral on the season on 5 pitches. Batting second for Mediapolis is number 17, Will Lutenegger, the junior, playing third base tonight. 600 on the season. First pitch, a fastball off the outside corner from Coral to Will Lutenegger. It missed, 1-0. Lutenegger, a right-handed batter. Here comes Coral, the lefty, to him. That one swung on, popped up towards right field, and falls in front of Gavin Noel out there. So Will Lutenegger on base with a single to right, and Mediapolis gets their first base runner of the evening. So 1 on, 1 out now. Batting third for Mediapolis is number 6, Kyler Crow, Jr. He's on the mound tonight from the right side. Coral out of the stretch for the first time. That pitch swung on, hit out towards center field. McKinney a little bit. He can't see it. He lost it, and it's way to his right. I thought he was getting underneath it, but it goes all the way back almost towards the fence. One run is going to score, and McKinney lost it. He threw his hands up in the air, and Kyler Crow stands at third base with a triple. So back-to-back hits by Mediapolis has given them a single and a triple, has given them a 1-0 lead. And I'll have to get my scoring summary started here in the bottom of the first. The Crow triple scores Will Lutenegger, 1-0 Mediapolis. I think McKinney just lost it out there. Thought he was moving to get underneath it, but he was going to his left, and I thought the ball should have been to his right. But, yeah, he just lost it. And it fell on the green grass out there and went almost all the way to the fence. I think the left fielder came over there, McEntee, to help him out, get it back in. So Mediapolis has tallied 1 here in the bottom of the first. They've got a runner at third. That's Crow after he tripled. And just 1 out. Up next for Mediapolis in the cleanup spot, number 3, Peyton Doty, senior, behind the plate for the Bulldogs tonight. Crow on the year was batting .200. Doty is at .400 on the young season. He's in there from the right side. Coral out of the windup. That one swung on, popped up. I'm looking right into the sun. Left fielder McEntee coming into his left. He's got it. Runner tags. Here comes the throw. It's offline up the third baseline. Hits the runner. He slides in safely. So Peyton Doty with a sac fly. He is the second out of the inning, but give him an RBI. Score Kyler Crow on the play. 2-0 Mediapolis. The Doty sac fly scores Crow. Up next, now there's 2 outs, bases empty. Up next, batting 5th for the Bulldogs, number 22, Max Griffin, junior first baseman. He's 308 on the year. Coral, the lefty's first pitch to him. That one swung on. Hit out towards McAtee. He'll make another play out there. McAtee gets the last 2 outs as Max Griffin on the first pitch flies out to McAtee in left field for the 3rd out of the inning. But Mediapolis tallies a couple. They get 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. 10 pitches for Coral to get through the bottom of the first. So it's Mediapolis 2, Van Buren County nothing after 1 inning of play. We'll go to the top of the second. Warriors coming back to the plate when we come back for this 1-minute break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tumble Radio YouTube channel. Also on the air, 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114 because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114 or visit us on Facebook at I'm Missouri Seed.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissom. Spring sports season, senior awards, the start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atumo Radio Group Sports Network.
Alrighty, back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa. Boys High School Varsity Baseball in the Southeast Iowa Super Conference tonight. Van Buren County Warriors are in town to take on the Mediapolis Bulldogs. We've played 1 inning. Mediapolis tallies 2 in the bottom of the first. They lead it 2-0 as we go to the top of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Warriors in the order. That's Will Cordell, Creek Kite, and Eli McKinney. Will Cordell on the season batting .400. He'll be in there from the left side to face Kyler Crow back in the mound for the Bulldogs. Cordell last night against Mount Pleasant, 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Crow ready. First pitch at the top of the second is a called strike to Cordell. 0-1 the count to Will. Will, the sophomore, his second go-around with the varsity. He got a lot of valuable playing time last year. Crow working out of the stretch, lifts the left leg. Here he comes. Called strike 2. Quickly 0-2 to Will Cordell, Warrior pitcher tonight. Mediapolis defense around the outfield, left to right. Oliver, Henry Lutenegger, and Brock Spears out there in right. Crow ready again. Here he comes. And a called strike 3, unsecured. Throw down to first, and they retire Will Cordell. On 3 pitches. Another strikeout for Kyler Crow. His second. Up next, Creek Kite, number 23, the freshman catcher. Crow ready. The first offering to Kite. A little low for a ball. 1-0 to Cree. Last night, Kite 0 for 2. It reached on an error against Mount Pleasant. 167 on the year for Cree Kite. Crow's next offering. Swing and a miss by Cree Kite, evening the count at 1-1. Mediapolis defense around the infield, third to first. Will Lutenegger at third, Gannon Gunn at short. Googler at second, Griffin at first. Doty behind the plate, Crow on the mound. Breaking ball. Had him buckling a little bit there. Cree Kite took it for a strike, 1-2. The count to him. Crow has the one he wants. Working out of the stretch all time. And here he comes. Bounced that one in there on a breaking ball. Too short of the plate. Count even 2-2 now. To the Warrior catcher tonight, Cree Kite, the freshman. Where's number 23? He's in there from the right side. Crow is ready. He winds and deals. Swing and a miss on a low outside pitch, and Kite went fishing for it. Crow gets the strikeout of Kite for the second out of the inning. That one of the swinging variety. Crow's third strikeout so far tonight. Next up for the Warriors in the 6th spot in the order, number 11, Eli McKinney, the junior center fielder. Last night, just a second, here comes the first pitch to McKinney. It's a ball, skips away from the catcher. 1-0. McKinney was 0 for 3 against Mount Pleasant. Still looking for his first hit on the year. He's in there from the left side. 2 outs, base is empty. Crow, the next offering, high and outside. 2-0 to Eli McKinney, the Warriors center fielder tonight. Picturesque sunset out in front of us here in southeast Iowa tonight. Nice setting for a ball game. Winds are light. Temperatures are comfortable. Here comes Crow, low and in to McKinney, and he's missed on 3 straight. 3-0. Warriors looking for a base runner. They trail 2-0 here, top of the second. We knew this wouldn't be easy tonight against Mediapolis. Called strike. 3-1. McKinney still ahead in the count. Had a pitch to work with. Trying to draw a walk. Now Crow gets himself back in the count. 3-1. Kyler's ready again. The next offering. Fouled off towards the Warrior dugout on the right side. It'll be full. 3-2 to Eli McKinney. So Crow trying to set him down 1-2-3 in consecutive innings here for Mediapolis. Warriors looking to start a 2-out rally. They trail 2-0. Top of the second. Crow, the left leg in the air. Here he comes. Bounce that one in there. Gets by the catcher to the backstop. McKinney will trot down to first quickly. He draws. Base on ball. Warriors first base runner with 2 out. Crow issues his first base on ball of the evening. So that'll bring up in the 7th spot in the order, number 6, Dan Caston, freshman, first baseman. Now batting, Dan Caston. Caston will bat from the right side. Umpire taking a momentary break, sweeping off home plate. Now he's back behind with his mask on. Caston ready to step in there. Crow, comfortable with runners on base. He always works out of the stretch. McKinney has his lead at first, and here he comes to the plate. That one swung on, grounded to third. Gloved over there, thrown across off the bag, but Griffin gloves it on foul territory and tags Caston as he's going by. That was Will Lutenegger over to Max Griffin. They retire Caston 5-3 on the putout. 3rd out of the inning. Leo Urach will lead off for the Warriors in the 3rd. In the top of the 2nd, the Warriors get no runs. No hits, no errors. They leave 1 on base on that walk by McKinney. 15 pitches for Crow to get through that inning. He's up to 27 in the game. We're through an inning and a half. Mediapolis leads 2-0. We'll take a 1-minute break and then come on back for the bottom of the second. Mediapolis coming back to bat after this 60-second break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Temple Radio YouTube channel. Also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
This is Jeremy with Cranston Family Funeral Home. I want to take a moment and say thank you, not for choosing our funeral home, although we're deeply honored when you do, but for showing up for your neighbors, for supporting small businesses, for standing in line at visitations and hugging people you maybe haven't seen in years. That is what makes our communities feel like home. At Cranston Family Funeral Home, we don't believe in flashy promises. We believe in showing up, quietly, respectfully, and doing the work that matters when it matters most. So from our family to yours, thank you. We see you, we are grateful for you, and we'll be here when you need us.
Hi, Susan here at Wasco Hardware in Keosauqua. When you're wanting to spruce up your home, come see our kitchen and bath showroom. We also have flooring, from luxury vinyl to Shaw and Mohawk carpet. Every color for your rooms, from Best Look Paint. Plan now to get all of your lawn and garden projects done from the help of Wasco Hardware. And remember, we have the perfect gift for that special someone, from Milwaukee tools, grilling, or a scented candle, and so much more. Wasco Hardware, downtown Keosauqua. Check us out online at wascohardware.com.
Back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa for the bottom of the second. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the order due up for Mediapolis. That'll be Henry Lutenegger, Braden Oliver, and Cale Wishmeyer, the DH. Henry Lutenegger in there from the right side. Coral bounced that one in there past the catcher all the way to the backstop. 1-0, the count to the Mediapolis center fielder, number 4, Henry Lutenegger, the sophomore. 417 on the year for him. Coral ready out of the windup. That pitch bounced in the infield towards Kinnick Millard. He'll glove on the run, throw over, and Henry Lutenegger beat it out. Good effort by Kinnick Millard. Henry Lutenegger, Millard had to charge it hard and get it on the grass and throw over on the run. He made a nice play, just too much speed from Henry Lutenegger, so he beats out an infield hit. Mediapolis has their leadoff man on. Second or third hit given up by Coral. I should also note the Warriors softball team up 1-0 in the bottom of the second over there, playing on the adjacent diamond. I can see the scoreboard. Just a little report. I know head coach Randy Smith would be proud of that report. Coral throws over to first. Henry Lutenegger back. I always feel bad I can't cover girls softball, but these games are going on at the same time, so we'd have to alternate, which makes it a little bit awkward going back and forth. You don't know what the guys did or the girls did in the game you skip, so we're just with baseball. That pitch gets away from the catcher, taken for a ball. Henry Lutenegger scampers down to second. We'll score that one a pass ball. I think Kite should have handled it. So Mediapolis with the runner at second. Now Kite going over and getting a new helmet, catcher's mask from the dugout. Something wrong with that one. So on 3 pitches, Mediapolis with a runner at second. The count 1-0 to Braden Oliver, batting 7th in the order, whereas number 9 is senior playing left field. Oliver, .375 on the year. Coral ready to the plate, and he hit him. So Braden Oliver, hit by a pitch, trots down to first and second, nobody out now. Coral with his first hit batter of the night. That'll bring up in the 8th spot for Mediapolis, number 7, the DH, Cale Wishmeyer, sophomore. He bats for number 23, Brock Spears, a sophomore who's playing right field. Coral to the plate. That pitch a ball. Good stop by Kite. Pitch to Wishmeyer, 1-0, the count to him. So Coral, the lefty on the mound, out of the stretch, finds himself in a little bit of a jam. He's coming to the plate again. That went too far outside. And it's 2-0 to Wishmeyer. Last year, something we noticed about Will Coral, not saying that he's tired tonight already, just in the second, but he was real good real good command when he was fresh on the mound. Spins and a throw back towards second, runner back safely. That's Henry Lutenegger out there. But as soon as Coral got tired, he lost his command and then would get into trouble. That was during his freshman season. I think he's probably have more endurance during his sophomore year. As a year older, year stronger. We'll see how he does. Here's the next offering. Bounce that one in there low and outside. The runner almost halfway. Kite eyeing him, but Henry Lutenegger trots back to second. 3-0. The count to Wishmeyer, and Coral a ball away from loading the bases here. Henry Lutenegger at second after he singled. The pitch is a ball. It was either a ball or it hit him, a dead ball. Anyways, the runner is going down to first. That's Wishmeyer. You see what that was? Was it hit by a pitch or just a ball? Just a ball. Okay, so we'll issue a walk to Wishmeyer. Base is loaded now, nobody out. For Mediapolis, Hayden Googler in there from the right side. Pitch swung on, popped up to the right side, out of play. Oh, and 1, the count to Hayden Googler, number 28, the sophomore. Second baseman, no average, still looking for his first hit on the year. Coral out of the stretch with the bases loaded. That's the way he's going to do it. Lifts to the right leg. Here he comes. Called strike inside part of the plate. 0-2. Strikeout would be huge here. That would give you a way out of the inning with a double play if you could turn it. And that's if Coral can get the strikeout here. Mediapolis leads 2-0 bottom of the second. That pitch swung on, lined out towards right field. Noel coming in. He'll squeeze it. Runner from third tags. Here comes the throw. Back into the infield. The runner from second going to advance. And there goes the runner from first as the Warriors fall asleep. So everybody going to advance. That'll be a sac fly. First out of the inning. Score Henry Lutenegger. Advance the other runners to third and second. There is now 1 out in the inning. Top of the order coming up. So in the bottom of the second, the Googler sac fly scores Henry Lutenegger. Coral's first pitch popped up on the infield, foul territory. Caston coming over from his first base spot. He'll catch it. Runners at second and third will have to stay put. So on 1 pitch, that's a big out for the Warriors. Gannon Gunn pops out to the first baseman. Second out of the inning. It's 3-0. Mediapolis as we play in the bottom of the second. Up next is Will Lutenegger, number 17. Too far inside on the first offering from Coral to him. 1-0 the count. Gunn, I should have mentioned, struck out looking in the first, and he popped out to third. Leutenegger singled, scored a run. Next offering from Coral, low and in for a ball. 2-0 to Will Leutenegger. Third baseman tonight for Mediapolis, batting .600 on the year. He's in there from the right side. Coral ready, here he comes. Called strike. 2-1 now the count to Will Leutenegger, the junior. Where's number 17? Playing third base for Mediapolis. Runners at second, third have their lead. Here comes Coral. A little bit high and in from Will. 3-1 now the count to Will Leutenegger. Coral out of the stretch. He's ready. Here he comes. Shot the outside corner, too far off of it. And Will Leutenegger draws a base on ball.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, Kyler Crow.
Second walk issued by Will Coral. Bases loaded again with 2 out. Here comes Kyler Crow, number 6 junior pitcher tonight. Coral finds the plate on that one. First pitch to Crow is a strike, 0-1. Crow tripled, scored a run in the first inning. 200 on the year coming into tonight, his average. Coral ready again. The lefty comes to the plate. Popped up and out of play to my right. Coral quickly ahead of Kyler Crow, 0-2. Warriors need an out somewhere. They've allowed one here. Looking to not allow any more in the bottom of the second. That pitch swung on, grounded, foul down the third base line. We'll do it again from 0-2. Cale Wishmeyer Braden Oliver at third, Cale Wishmeyer at second, Will Leutenegger at first. Those are the runners for Mediapolis. The 0-2 from Coral on the way. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Was it caught? They tag the batter, so either way they get the out there. Strikeout of the swinging variety. Coral gets Crow, third out of the inning. Peyton Doty will lead off for Mediapolis when they bat in the third. Second strikeout for Will Coral. But in the second inning, Mediapolis gets a run on one hit. There were no errors, and Mediapolis leaves 3. It's 3-0 Mediapolis after 2 innings. We'll take a 60-second break and come on back for the top of the third. Warriors coming to the plate when we return. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tummo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
From backyard barbecues to late getaways, summer is all about making memories. At Pilot Grove Savings Bank, we make it easy to enjoy the season with stress-free banking that fits your lifestyle. Mobile banking on the go? Check. Easy loan options for home upgrades or vacations? Check. Friendly local service you can count on? Always. Make the most of your summer. Bank with Pilot Grove Savings Bank. Visit us at pilotgrovesavingsbank.com or stop by any of our 17 locations. Pilot Grove Savings Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atumo Radio Group Sports Network.
Back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa, getting set to start the top of the third. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Urach, Knoll, and Leffler due up for the Warriors. It took Coral 21 pitches to get through that bottom of the second. He's up to 31. Here we go. Crow ready. First offering. Swing and a miss. Popped away from the catcher to the right. That was the first offering to Leo Urach. 0-1 to him. Last night, Leo Urach was 1 for 3 with a double against Mount Pleasant. 250 on the year for him. Crow is ready. Here comes the second offering. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Quickly 0-2 to Leo Urach. Where's number 7, a freshman playing second base for Van Buren County tonight. Crow, a long look in to Doty. Has the one he wants. Lifts the leg. Here he comes. That one swung on Bounce to short. Glove by Gunn. Throw over to Griffin. And Urach retired at first base. 6-3 on the putout there by Mediapolis. First out of the inning. Urach retired on 3 pitches there on a ground out to Gunn at short. Next up for the Warriors is batting ninth in the order, number 4, Gavin Knoll, the junior right fielder. First action of the year for Knoll. He's in there from the right side. Crow coming to him. Knoll took a strike. 0-1. Gavin Knoll, a valuable member of the Warrior Boys track and field team, long-distance runner. Watched him run a lot at the track meets this spring. He's seen his first action tonight for the Warrior varsity baseball team. Crow's next offering, a little bit low. Over the outside part of the plate, but I think too low. And the count even at 1-1. Warriors trail 3-zip as we play top of the third. Crow's next offering, swing and a miss by Knoll for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Gavin. Base is empty with 1 out here, the top of the third. Knoll swings through that one for a strikeout. Second out of the inning. Kyler Crow gets his 4th strikeout of the night. So Mediapolis has 2 outs on just 7 pitches. That'll turn the lineup over to the top for Isaac Leffler, number 3, the senior third baseman. Grounded out to second, his first time up. Leffler 333 on the year. That one bounced in there, skipped away from the catcher right side. Leffler ahead in the count, 1-0. Isaac in there from the right side. Crow out of the stretch always has his sign. Here he comes. That pitch bounced to short. Another one opportunity for Gunn. He'll glove throw over to Griffin. Leffler retired at first base. 6-3 on the putout. Third out of the inning. McAtee leadoff for the Warriors when they bat in the 4th. Just 9 pitches for Crow to get through the third. He's up to 36 in the game. Nothing across for the Warriors as they retired 1-2-3 in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Mediapolis leads 3-0. They're coming to the plate. When we come back after this 60-second break, you're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Temple Radio YouTube channel. Also, on the air at your home for today's hits and yesterday's favorites, 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissam. Spring sports season, senior awards, start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
This is Tim, owner of Slayton Polaris. We have seen a lot of changes since we opened our doors in 1988. One thing that hasn't changed is the way we treat our customers. We still offer the best machines at the best possible prices and strive to treat everyone the way we would want to be treated. This has been our policy since we started the business. If you're looking for the best in off-road vehicles, I'd like to invite you to stop in and meet us at Slayton Polaris, 8 miles south and west of Pulaski.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
All right, away we go in the bottom of the third here from Mediapolis, 0-1 to Mediapolis' first batter, Peyton Doty. The next offering, high to even the count at 1-1. Doty bats cleanup for Mediapolis tonight. Wears number 3, senior, behind the plate. Average for him 400 on the year. He had a sac fly to drive in a run in the first inning. That pitch was a ball. Missed it, 2-1. I'm looking right into the sun. Swing and a miss. Sorry, folks, it's bright. 2-2. Count even now to Mediapolis' leadoff man here, bottom of the third. They lead 3-zip. 2-2 to Peyton Doty, the catcher. Coral out of the windup. Here he comes. Breaking ball too far outside. That'll make it full. 3-2 to Doty. Like I said, he had a sac fly in the first with that RBI. He drove in Kyler Crow. That pitch swung on, passed and grounded sharply past the second baseman out to Gavin Nolan right, who fields and throw it back into Leo Urach. So on the full count pitch, Doty with a sharp single out to right. Mediapolis gets their leadoff man on. Fourth hit given up by Will Coral. And it's 4, 5, and 6. The three due up here for sure for Mediapolis. Next is fifth in the order, number 22, Max Griffin, the junior first baseman. Griffin flew out to left his first time. Coral now out of the stretch. He'll check the runner at first. Back safely is Doty. Coral has his sign. Lifts the right leg. Here he comes. High and in to Griffin. 1-0. The count to Max. One on, nobody out for Mediapolis here. Bottom of the third, they lead already. 3-zip. Coral's ready. To the plate he comes. Too far outside. 2-0 to Griffin now. Griffin, the lefty, against Coral, the lefty. That one bounced to short. Millard has it. He'll scoop to Urach covering second. They'll get the force on Doty. He's retired. 6-4. First out of the inning. Griffin will reach on the fielder's choice. So the Warriors trade a runner for an out, but they get that lead runner. Doty retired at second. So now 1 on, 1 out. First pitch taken high to the next batter for Mediapolis, number 4, sophomore center fielder Henry Lutnegger. 1-0 the count to him. He singled, scored a run. Back in the second. Coral's next offering. Low and in. Count 2-0 to Henry Lutnegger. 1 on, 1 out for Mediapolis. That's Max Griffin down there at first base. Coral eyes the plate, coming to it. Called strike. 2-1 now the count to Henry Lutnegger. 4-17 coming into action tonight. Coral's ready again. The delivery. Grounded to third. Leffler will field. Throw across to Caston. Nope, can't handle it. Gets away. That'll be an E5. Bad throw. Runner advances all the way over to third. That's Max Griffin. Lutnegger reaches. And I think I'm going to score that one in E5. It could have been a better throw. I think a good throw gets the runner. Caston couldn't handle it over there. He had to reach way to his left. So first and third with 1 out. Braden Oliver up next for Mediapolis from the right side. Coral, the lefty, coming to him. There goes the runner. Pitch is a called strike. The Warriors don't throw down. 0-1 to Oliver. Send Henry Lutnegger down to second on the stolen base. So second and third, next offering, a ball. Skips away from Kite a little bit to his left. Nobody can advance. Count even at 1-1 to Braden Oliver. Whereas number 9 is senior left fielder, 375 coming into action tonight. He was hit by a pitch. That pitch grounded on the infield. Oh, Millard couldn't handle it. That'll be an E6. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. So Oliver reaches on the E6, allowing 2 runs to score. That's Griffin and Lutnegger. 2 errors in the inning for the Warriors. Mediapolis leads now 5-0 as we play bottom of the third. Up next for Mediapolis is Cale Wishmeyer, the DH. Where's number 7? First pitch to him, low and in, skips past Kite on a wild pitch. Runners going all the way from first to third as Kite gathers it up back by the fence. So on the wild pitch, runner from first, Oliver goes all the way to third. Pitch was, of course, a ball, 1-0 to Wishmeyer, who drew a walk stranded on the bases in the second. Coral's ready with a runner at third, 1 out. That pitch skips by the catcher. Another wild pitch. Here comes the runner. Coral covers, but Kite can't get it to him in time. So Oliver scores on the wild pitch. It's 6-0 Mediapolis. Count is 2-0 to the batter, Wishmeyer. Coral's next offering fouled off a little bit to the left and behind the plate. Coral with 19 pitches here in this inning. He started 31. He's up to 50. Swing and a miss on the next offering from Coral to Wishmeyer. Count even at 2-2 now. Bases empty. Just one out in the inning. That one lined or grounded sharply to Millard. He's got it at short. Throw over to Caston. And nice play there on both ends. And they'll retire Wishmeyer. 6-3 on the put-out. Second out of the inning. So now 2 outs. Nobody on, but Mediapolis has scored 3 times here in the bottom of the third. Next up for Mediapolis is the number 9 hitter, Hayden Googler. Second baseman tonight. Where's number 28, a sophomore? He had a sack and an RBI, sack fly. First pitch to him, low and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Googler. RBI sack fly in the second to drive in Henry Luttenegger. Coral, the offering, swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. 1-1 with 2 outs. Base is empty. Mediapolis has tallied 3 here in the bottom of the third. They lead 6-0. That pitch too far outside, and Googler watched it. 2-1 to count to him. Sun is setting. It'll be much easier for me to see when it sets as I'm looking directly in it, having to shade my eyes here. That pitch bounced to third. Leffler has it, bobbles it again, won't throw. Defense letting the Warriors down here in the bottom of the third as Googler will reach on an E5. Third error of the inning. Mediapolis has tallied 3 on just 1 hit. The lineup will turn over now to the leadoff man, number 1, Gannon Gunn, the junior shortstop. He's 0 for 2 with a caught looking and a pop out to first base. He's in there from the right side. Umpires getting together to talk about something here. Not sure what. Googler on at first. Reached on that error by Leffler. The Warriors with 3 errors in the inning. Not helping their cause at all. Mediapolis leads 6-0. Not all those runs earned. Coral has given up 4 hits, 2 walks, couple of strikeouts, and those 6 runs. Called strike. Upper outside part of the plate, catches it. To Gannon Gunn. That pitch outside, the runner goes, the throw down. Got past Millard covering, but Urach backs it up. I think the count is 1-1. Send a Googler down to second on the stolen base. 27 pitches for Coral in this inning, a long one for him. He started it with 31. He's up to 58. Here comes the next offering. Swing and a miss on a good heater from Will. 1-2 now to the Mediapolis leadoff man in the order, Gannon Gunn. He's 0 for 2. 0-71 on the year, like I said. Runner at second with 2 outs. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, unsecured. Kite grabs it. He'll lob it down to first, and they'll retire Gunn. On the unsecured strikeout, 1-3 down to first base. It'll be a strikeout, third out of the inning. Will Luttenegger lead off for Mediapolis when they bat in the fourth. That's the third strikeout for Coral. 29 pitches to get him through a lengthy third, 31, 41, 50, up to 60 in the game. In the bottom of the third, Mediapolis scores 3 times on just 1 hit. There were 3 errors by the Warriors and 1 runner left on base. So after 3 are completed, 6-0 Mediapolis will go to the top of the fourth. Warriors coming back to the plate looking to get some runs after this 60-second break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 1 minute.
Are you thinking about or ready to build that home or shop or deck that you've been dreaming about? Come see us at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center in Dowd's, and we will transform your dreams into reality. By using our 3D computer-aided design system, you can see and walk through your dream project. After your project is designed, we can generate a detailed material list to see if it fits within your budget. Contact Mike or Josh at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center to get your project started today. 641-936-7115 or check us out at dowdslumber.com.
Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
Back with you live from Mediapolis as we go to the top of the fourth. Warriors trail 6-0. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Van Buren County. McAtee, Millard, Coral looking to get something started against the righty, Kyler Crow, for the Bulldogs. He's ready, so is McAtee. Here comes the first offering of the inning. Breaking ball over for a strike. A nice pitch from Crow. 0-1 to McAtee. He grounded out to short in the first. 200 on the average for the year so far for McAtee. Left-handed batter against the righty Crow. To the plate, fouled off, left side, out of play, or back against the screen, actually. Quickly 0-2 to Aiden. Warriors senior left fielder tonight. Crow has his sign again. Comes set, working out of the stretch always. McAtee swings, pops that one up in the infield. Crow off the mound to his left, calling it. Catches it right over the first baseline. Griffin let him have it. Crow makes the play. So McAtee pops out to the pitcher, first out of the inning. Up next for the Warriors, bats third in the order, number 2, Kinnick Millard, sophomore shortstop. Struck out in the first, he's 0 for 1, average on the year 333 for Millard. So on 3 pitches, Crow has an out, bases empty, 1 out here, top of the fourth, Warriors trail 6-0. Millard in there. Like to see him put a charge into one. Crow coming to him, check swing, Millard held up, low and outside, ball 1 to Kinnick. Sun is almost set. That'll be a lot easier on AJ and I as soon as that goes down. I'm having to shade my eyes, staring right into it, right over the pitcher's head. Here's the next offering from Crow. Caught the outside corner. 1-1. Warriors tonight in their white tops and pants, orange sleeves, orange socks. Looking sharp, Mediapolis, orange and black tops, white pants. Both teams very similar color schemes, actually identical. That one fouled off to the left side of the plate. 1-2 to Millard. A lot of orange and black in the stands and on the field tonight. Luckily, the Warriors are white uniform dominant, Mediapolis orange top, so it's a little bit easier to tell apart. Crow's ready. The 1-2 to Millard is on the way. Low and outside. 2-2. AJ said to me tonight, the first thing when we arrived, he said, when the JV game was going on, he said, boy, those are horrible because both teams looked about identical, orange-topped uniforms. That was really hard to tell who was who. The varsity game, a little easier. Here's the next offering. Curveball, swing and a miss. Millard swung over the top of it. Crow will get the strikeout. Second out of the inning. Millard now 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Crow gets his 5th strikeout of the night. Up next for the Warriors, the cleanup man, number 9, Will Coral, sophomore pitcher tonight in there from the left side. He was caught looking, retired on an unsecured strikeout in the second. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. And I think Will said, all right, now, Mr. Umpire, you got to give me that one, too, when I'm on the mound. Looked a little bit maybe outside, but it's 0-1. Crow's ready. Coral is too. That one high and outside to even the count at 1-1. We're in the top of the fourth. Warriors got to find ways to score some runs here. They were shut out in their first game, being shut out here tonight. Scored 3 last night against Mount Pleasant. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Coral swung over the top of it, 1-2. Crow in command here for Mediapolis. That throw back from the catcher gets by him. Gunn retrieves it and throws it back to Kyler on the mound. So he's looking to set the Warriors down again, 1-2-3 here, unless Coral can reach. It's 1-2 against him with 2 out. Bases empty. Crow to the plate. Grounded. Softly to second. Gloved. Thrown over to first. That's Gugler to Griffin. 4-3 on the putout. Third out of the inning. Warriors go down 1-2-3. Creek High to lead off for the Warriors when they bat in the 5th. Just 12 pitches for Kyler Crow. to get through the fourth. 36-46. He's up to 48. So the Warriors are retired. 1-2-3. They get nothing in the top of the fourth. Still 6-0 Mediapolis. And they are coming to the plate in the bottom of the fourth. When we come back after this 60-second break, you're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tummel Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 1 minute.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissam. Spring sports season, senior awards, the start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
This is Jeremy with Cranston Family Funeral Home. I want to take a moment and say thank you, not for choosing our funeral home, although we're deeply honored when you do, but for showing up for your neighbors, for supporting small businesses, for standing in line at visitations and hugging people you maybe haven't seen in years. That is what makes our communities feel like home. At Cranston Family Funeral Home, we don't believe in flashy promises. We believe in showing up quietly, respectfully, and doing the work that matters when it matters most. So from our family to yours, thank you. We see you, we are grateful for you, and we'll be here when you need us.
Back with you from Mediapolis, Iowa. Boys High School varsity baseball in the Southeast Iowa Super Conference tonight. Headed to the bottom of the fourth. Mediapolis leads 6-0. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up in the order for the Bulldogs. Will Lutenegger, Kyler Crow, Peyton Doty. Will Lutenegger in there from the right side against Will Coral. Here comes the first pitch. Check swing taken for a ball. 1-0 to Will Lutenegger. He's singled and scored a run in the first. Walked in the second. He's 1 for 1 with that single and run scored. 2 at-bats, 1 official plate appearance. Coral's next pitch too low. Kite couldn't quite handle it, skips away from him to the right a little bit. 2-0 to Will Lutenegger, the third baseman for Mediapolis tonight. He's batting a gaudy .600 coming into action tonight. Mediapolis had some impressive hits and run totals in their first 3 games outside on that next pitch to him. It's 3-0. Lutenegger ahead in the count here against the Warrior lefty, sophomore Will Coral. Sun just about setting now behind some clouds. Lights starting to take effect. Here comes Coral. Found the plate on that one, a called strike. Lutenegger watched it. 3-1 as Coral tries to get himself back in the count here. Mediapolis leads 6-0. We're just underway, bottom of the fourth. Bases empty. Lutenegger leading off the inning. That's Will. Swung on in line towards the right center field gap. Going to get down in between McKinney and Knoll all the way to the fence. McKinney grabs it and throws it back into the cutoff man. But Will Lutenegger standing on second base with a double to lead off the inning. Mediapolis has their leadoff man on. That is the 5th hit given up by Coral. So a runner on second. Will Lutenegger with nobody out. Mediapolis looking to start something here. They already lead to 6-0. Up next is number 6, Kyler Crow, and bats in the third spot. First pitch to him, a ball. 1-0. The count to Kyler Crow, the junior on the mound tonight. Tripled, scored a run in the first, struck out in the second. He's 1 for 2 with that triple and run scored. Coral to the plate, high and outside. 2-0. Coral struggling a little bit with the command. He didn't have a very long rest. He had 29 pitches that last inning. The Warriors went down 1-2-3, and he had to bat, so he didn't have much of a rest. He'll spin and throw back to second, runner back safely. So a 29-pitch third inning for Coral. Then he had to come to the plate. Warriors went down 1-2-3. He's right back on the mound. Gave up a double to Will Lutenegger to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Coral ready. Shot the outside corner, missed. Seems like he's getting a little bit frustrated out there with his command. 3-0 to Crow, and I'm not sure how long Shane Begley will let him go, as we got a bunch of games coming up. 68 pitches for Coral outside. And Kyler Crow draws the base on ball. First and second now for Mediapolis with nobody out. That's Coral's third walk issued. And he's going to have to buckle down here. 2 on, nobody out. Warriors trail 6-0. They got to keep it right there if they want to have a chance tonight. Strikeout would be great. Then you got to way out of the inning with a double play if you can turn it. Up next for Mediapolis is number 3, Peyton Doty, senior catcher. The pitch to him. Skips low and inside. Kite blocks it to throw down to third. Both runners advance on the wild pitch. Lutenegger to third. Crow to second. Good attempt at a block by Creek Kite. 1-0 to Doty. He is 1 for 1 with a single. He's also got a sac fly and an RBI. Swung on. Foul. Third base side. 1-1 to count to Doty. He drove in a run with that sac fly. Scored Crow in the first inning. And he singled, retired 6-4 on the bases in the third. So he's 1 for 1. That sacrifice not an official at bat. Sun is set now, just about behind some clouds. Much easier for me to see. Grounded sharply, a couple of bounces to Millard at short. Nothing you can do about that. He'll throw to first and get the out. Runner from third scores. Then on the throw, the runner from second moves over to third. So Doty, it's a good question if we'll give him a sacrifice on that one. I don't think so. He's retired 6-3 on the putout. First out of the inning. Scorer Luttenegger, Will Luttenegger on the plate and make it 7-0 Mediapolis, and Crow moves over to third. Up next is Max Griffin, the lefty. Coral's first pitch to him, called. Strike one. So the Doty ground out called strike on the next pitch to Max Griffin, 0-2. Scores Will Luttenegger. 7-zip Mediapolis. And Coral gets a much-needed strikeout of Max Griffin there on 3 pitches, the swinging variety. Second out of the inning. Coral gets his 4th strikeout. Number 4, Henry Luttenegger swings at the first pitch, popped up on the infield. Leffler coming in to the left of the mound. He'll catch it. So they get out of that inning quickly without any more damage. Henry Luttenegger pops out to Isaac Leffler at third. Third out of the inning. Braden Aller will lead off for Mediapolis when they bat in the 5th. But in that 4th inning, Mediapolis gets a run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and they end up leaving 1 on base. So after 4 are complete, it's Mediapolis with a 7-0 lead. Come on back for the top of the 5th. Warriors coming to the plate. 16 pitches for Coral to get through that inning. He's up to 76 in the game. We'll take a 60-second break and come on back for the top of the 5th. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tumble Radio YouTube channel. Also on the air, 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
Are you thinking about or ready to build that home or shop or deck that you've been dreaming about? Come see us at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center in Dowd's, and we will transform your dreams into reality. By using our 3D computer-aided design system, you can see and walk through your dream project. After your project is designed, we can generate a detailed material list to see if it fits within your budget. Contact Mike or Josh at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center to get your project started today. 641-936-7115 or check us out at dowdslumber.com.
Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
All right, we're back with you from Mediapolis. Just got a score from the softball game playing to the adjacent field to our left. It looks like the Warriors lead 2-0 in the top of the 5th, it looks like. 16 pitches for Coral to get through that last inning. He's up to 76. And just to clean up the scoring, that's an RBI ground out for Doty there for Mediapolis, scoring that run in the 4th. They lead 7-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. 3 due up for the Warriors. Creek Kite, Eli McKinney, Dan Caston. First pitch from Crow. Ooh. That one Kite had to duck out of the way of. Catcher couldn't catch it. Way right over the top of the right-handed batter's box. 1-0 count to Creek Kite. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Kite the catcher, 167 on the year. Crow coming to him. That one on the outside corner on a fastball to even the count at 1-1. Warriors trail 7-zip as we play top of the 5th. They got to figure out a way to score some runs. Crow lifts the left leg. Kite, swing and a miss for strike 2. Warriors shut out in their first game against Keokuk, a well-played 1-0 loss. Last night, 11-3 against Mount Pleasant. They did manage to put 3 on the board, but tonight shut out through 4 so far Here comes Kyler Crow, swing and a miss by Cree Kite. He goes down on strikes for the second time. First out of the inning. Crow, his 6th strikeout. Up next for the Warriors, batting in the 6th spot, is number 11, Eli McKinney, the junior center fielder. He drew a walk, stranded on the bases in the 2nd. He's in there from the left side against the righty Crow. Fouled off on the first pitch, down the left field line. Out of play, nobody can, oh no, it stays in play, nobody could get to it, excuse me. McKinney's still looking for his first hit on the year. It'd be nice to see him get going for the Warriors. Good speed if he can get on base. So 0-1 to count to the lefty Eli McKinney. Kyler Crow, like I said, he's always works out of the stretch. Comes set, he's ready, and the delivery. Ooh, behind McKinney, had to scoot towards the plate to get out of the way of that one. Catcher Doty couldn't get it. So the count 1-1. McKinney's second at bat. No official plate appearance as he walked in his first. Here comes the next offering. Check swing. McKinney took it for a ball. 2-1 to count to Eli. And the 2-1 on the way. Outside. Ooh, the ump thought about it, let it go. 3-1 now to McKinney. One out, base is empty for the Warriors. 3-1 to McKinney. Play here, top of the 5th. That one swung on. They're going to say it's a foul ball. Must have hit McKinney in the batter's box. It went straight back to Crow weakly. He was going to get it and throw out McKinney at first with a good throw. So Warriors with new life there. And McKinney, as it must have hit him in the batter's box, is the only thing I can think of. Foul ball, so we'll do it again. It's a strike. 3-2. Crow ready. And the delivery. McKinney caught looking on the backwards K. He's the second out of the inning. Kyler Crow gets his 7th strikeout. So the first 2 retired via the strikeout. One swinging, one looking for the Warriors here in the top of the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on. Up next, batting 7th in the order, number 6, Dan Caston, a freshman first baseman. He swings on that first pitch and sends a single out to right field. Nice job by the freshman, Dan Caston, on one pitch. He singles. Warriors get a 2-out base runner. First hit of the game for the Warriors as Crow had a no-hitter going. Up next is Leo Urach. First pitch to him, chopped to third, charged and gloved, thrown over to first. Griffin, that's Will Lutenegger making a nice play over to Max Griffin. And Leo Urach is retired. 5-3 on one pitch, third out of the inning. Gavin Noel lead off for the Warriors when they bat in the 6th. 12 pitches for Kyler Crow, just like the last inning. He's up to 60. And we're through 4.5 with Mediapolis still leading 7-0. And they're coming to the plate in the bottom of the 5th. We'll take a 60-second break and come on back for some more Super Conference baseball. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball on the Autumnal Radio YouTube channel, also on the air, 92.7 KTWA. It looks like we might, no, it's still Will Coral out on the mound. We'll see if that's a pitching change after this 60-second break.
At Smithburg Automotive, driving adventures allow you to explore comfortably, safely, and in every aspect of your summer vacation. Smithburg Automotive in Fairfield. Schedule your vehicle's trip check today. Call 641-472-2454, 641-472-2454.
Smithburg Automotive in Fairfield. Get your trip check scheduled today. Call 641-472-2454. That's 641-472-2454.
Van Buren County Hospital is a proud supporter of Van Buren County Community School District Athletics. The contributions you make to your team, your school, and your community are appreciated and valued by all of us at Van Buren County Hospital. We want to wish you a successful sports season, and we'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Go Warriors! For all of your healthcare needs, Van Buren County Hospital is here for you. Find us online at vbch.org.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
right back with you live from Mediapolis. We got a pitching change here for the Warriors. Isaac Leffler coming in to throw. Try to get the changes for you. Will Coral looks like he headed out to left field. Dan Caston still at first. Urach at second. Millard at third. Kirkhart came in to play third. Colton Kirkhart, that is. And the three due up for Mediapolis. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Braden Oliver, Cale Wishmeyer, Hayden Googler. So Isaac Leffler seeing his first action on the mound. We'll set him up here the best we can last year. Pitched in 6 games, started none of them, a 1-2 record without a save. 14 innings pitched, 294 total pitches, 77 official at-bats, a 182 average. The righty, he's ready. So we'll try to catch up on that later. First pitch lined. Back out to center field solidly by number 9, Braden Oliver. 1 pitch. He's got himself a single. Leffler gives up a hit on 1 pitch and a solid single back to center. Up next, this is a DH, number 7, Cale Wishmeyer, sophomore. Oliver was hit by a pitch and then reached on an arrow, so he's 1 for 1. Third plate appearance. That was his first official at-bat. Leffler out of the stretch now. Checks Oliver and coming to the plate. That one swung on and drilled to left. Coral going back. He's under it. He'll make the catch on a nice play by Will Coral. Throw it back in. Oliver will have to stay put at first. So Wishmeyer retired on the F7, first out of the inning. Up next is number 28, Hayden Googler, the sophomore second baseman. Hit a sac fly RBI in the first and reached on an error. So Mediapolis with a runner at first and 1 out. Leffler to the plate, called strike. There goes the runner. 0-1 the count to Googler. Stolen base for Oliver down to second. So Googler 0 for 1 as he reached on an air, has that sacrifice. That pitch fouled on the right field line out of play. 0-2. Leffler's ready. Here he comes on a breaking ball, left it high and outside. 1-2 to Googler. Oliver still out there at second. 1 on, 1 out for Mediapolis. They lead 7-0 here, bottom of the 5th. Isaac breaking ball again, too far inside. Even it at 2-2. So yeah, Googler is 0 for 1 as he reached on that air. Has a sack. That pitch a ball too far outside. Count full now to him. 3-2. The next offering from Leffler. Shot the outside corner, and he caught it. And Googler threw his bat back towards the dugout. Thought he had a walk, but the home plate umpire says, not so fast. Son, you got caught looking on strikes for the second out of the inning. Runner still remains at second. Leffler records his first strikeout of the year. I think McEntee has exited the game. Breaking ball and a nice one from Leffler. Gannon Gunn looked at it, 0-1. Gunn 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a pop-out. He was 0-71 coming in tonight. There goes a runner from second to third. Throw down, not going to be in time. Couldn't be handled cleanly by Kirkhart down there, so a stolen base for Oliver. He's at third now. Pitch was a strike, 0-2. Thanks, guys, for the help. So 0-2 the count to Gunn. Leffler coming to him, watch out. And that breaking ball didn't break like Isaac Leffler wanted to and caught Gannon Gunn right in the back. He's trotting down to first, though. That one had to sting a little bit, so he's hit by a pitch with an 0-2 count. He'll go down to first. First and third with 2 out. Up next is number 17, Will Lutenegger, bats second in the order, the junior third baseman. Singled, scored a run in the first, drew a walk in the second, and doubled. He's 2 for 2 with that walk, 2 runs scored. First and third. I think there's 2 out in the inning. Here comes Leffler. Popped up. Going to land on the press box or over us? Right on top. 0-1. The count to Will Lutenegger, third baseman for Mediapolis. Dangerous hitter in there from the right side against the righty, senior Isaac Leffler. Seeing his first action on the mound. Didn't get to finish his pitching line. He'll step to third and look back to first. Nobody going anywhere. Leffler, let's see if we can pick that up. Last year, gave up 182 average, 14 hits, 18 runs, 13 of those earned, 14 walks, hit 4 batters, struck out 15 with a 6.50 ERA. That was the pitching line last year for Isaac Leffler. Here he comes. Breaking ball and a good one. Caught the outside part of the plate. Leffler using his breaking ball effectively here. 0-2 to Will Lutenegger. First and third, 2 out. Warriors got to keep it right there. They're already down 7-0 as we get late here in this one on the bottom of the 5th. Isaac to the plate. Chopped right back up the middle. Millard can't get it. It sneaks into center field. 1 run scores. That runner from first going to third. Now to second as the Warriors a little sloppy getting it back in. So Lutenegger gets a double, I guess. He sneaked that into a double. Another hit. Second in the inning. Second given up by Leffler. And that scores Oliver and Gunn. Or just one, excuse me. Gunn still over at third. Pitch taken for a ball. 2-0. The count to Kyler Crow. He tripled, scored a run, struck in the first, struck out in the second, drew a walk. Lone outside on that offering. 3-0. So he's 1 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, and a run scored. Also, that hit was a triple. 3-0 to him. Mediapolis 2 outs with runners at second and third. They've tallied 1 in the inning, bounced in there. Kite blocks it enough for the runners not to go anywhere, and Crow draws the base on ball. So they're loaded now as Leffler issues his first walk. 18 pitches for Isaac so far. Here comes a courtesy runner for Crow, the pitcher. Looks like number 11, Reed Sandberg. Sorry about that. First pitch is a called strike to Peyton Doty, 0-1. To him, he had a sac fly, RBI in the first, then a single, then grounded out. He's 1 for 2 with that sac fly. Leffler's next offering, low and in. 1-1 the count to Doty. 400 batting average on the year. He's doing the catching tonight. It's 8-0 Mediapolis. They've got him loaded with 2 outs. Warriors need to get out of this jam if they want to have any chance here tonight. Next offering, popped up on the infield weakly. Leffler calls it off the mound to his right. He'll squeeze it. So they squeeze their way out of that one by only allowing 1 run. As Peyton Doty pops out to the pitcher for the third out of the inning. Max Griffin would lead off for Mediapolis in the 6th. Mediapolis gets, let's see, in a run on 2 hits. There were no errors by the Warriors, and Mediapolis leaves them loaded. So it's 8-0 after 5 complete innings. We'll go to the top of the 6th when we come back after this 60-second break. 21 pitches for Isaac Leffler to get him out of the 5th inning. Warriors coming to the plate. When we come back, you're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tumble Radio YouTube channel, also over the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissom. Spring sports season, senior awards, the start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
This is Milo Wells with Wells Hometown Drug in Bloomfield. Our goal here is to go above and beyond your expectations for the role that a pharmacy can play in you and your family's health. Since we have opened here, many things have changed. We've added experienced staff, updated our facilities, added clinical services like strep throat test and treat, and free liquid medication flavoring. One thing that has not changed is the vision of providing our patients with access to the best pharmacy services anywhere in the state. We, like many of you, believe Southeast Iowa is an amazing place to live, and we will continue to be committed to improving the lives of our patients.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
All right, we're back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel tonight, also on the air. Jerome for today's hits and yesterday's favorites, 92.7 KTWA. We go to the top of the 6. Warriors trail 8-0 to the Mediapolis Bulldogs. Just wanted to mention all the innings tonight brought to you by Smithburg Automotive, 2 locations in Fairfield. All the strikeouts by the Warrior pitchers brought to you by Dowd's Quick Stop. Pitching change. Leffler came in to pitch. That was brought to you by Pilot Grove Savings Bank. All right, here we go. In the top of the 6 with the Warriors trailing 8-0. 3-2 up. It's going to be number 25. Batting for the Warriors, I believe that's Kirkhart. Swing and a miss. That is Colton Kirkhart right now. Playing third base. Pitch was a strike. 0-2. To him, Kyler Crow still on the mound. Swing and a miss. He got him on 3 pitches. First out of the inning, Crow with another strikeout. His 8th. Started the inning with 60 pitches, just 60 pitches. So he strikes out Kirkhart to start the inning. Pitch to Isaac Leffler, the leadoff man, is a ball. 1-0 to Leffler. He's 0 for 2 on the night. 3:33 entering play this evening. Crow coming to him. A little bit high and outside. 2-0 to Isaac. He started at third, now on the mound for the Warriors. Crow out of the stretch, as I mentioned before. Isaac bounces that one to short on a couple of hops. Gunn, Fields, throws on the run over to Max Griffin, scoops it. Nope. Isaac Leffler beat it, or Max came off the bag over there. So an infield hit for Leffler. Warriors get a 1-out base runner. That'll bring up second in the order. It's number 1, Aiden McAtee, the senior, left fielder. Or he started in left. I don't know where he went. He's 0 for 2. The ground out and a strikeout. Started the night at 200 batting average. Outside on a ball from Crow to McAtee. 1-0. I think I got the changes now as I think Gavin Knoll exited the game. McAtee probably went out there. Leffler went from third to the mound. Kirkhart came in. That pitch grounded off of Max Griffin. He recovers. Nobody there to throw it to. McAtee will beat it out. We'll give him a hit on that one. I don't think that was an ordinary play as Griffin was ranging hard to his right, but it went off his glove. Give McAtee a hit. Infield hit. Leffler down to second. McAtee on at first. You can score that one a bunch of different ways, I guess. 3 hits given up now by Crow. First pitch to Kennick Millard is a ball. 1-0. Millard 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Warrior runners first and second with 1 out. They trail 8-0 here, top of the 6th. Crow looks at Leffler at second to the plate. Millard swung through that one. 1-1 with 1 out. 2 on for the Warriors. They're looking for their first run of the night. Crow's ready. So is Millard. There goes Leffler from second to third. Throw down. He's going to beat it. Throw into left field. Isaac will turn and come to the plate. Runner from first goes to second. So give Isaac Leffler. Warriors are on the board. It's 8-1. A stolen base to third. Then score him on the throwing error by the catcher. E2 on the play. First error in Mediapolis on the night. Move McAtee around or over to second. Pitch was a count. Is that accurate? 1-1 to Millard. Next offering underneath the catcher, not far enough for him to go anywhere. Is it 2-1 the count or 3? Not exactly sure. Scoreboard says 2-1. Runner at second. McAtee for the Warriors. They've got a run here in the inning. It's 8-1 Mediapolis. Swing and a miss. It was 2-2, so that's a strikeout of Millard. His third time out on strikes tonight. Second out of the inning. Strikeout for Crow is his 9th. Comes the first offering to Coral outside. McAtee still out there at second to Will Coral. 1-0 to him. Coral 0 for 2 on the night with a caught looking and a grounder to second. Started on the mound. He went out to left. Batting .400 entering play tonight. Crow to the plate. Coral pops that one up. Out of play. Heads up. No, it stays just inside the tall fence here. Nobody can get to it, though. Evens the count at 1-1 to Coral. Warriors have 2 out. McAtee out there at second. They've tallied their first run here in the inning. It's 8-1. Coral at the plate. 1-1 to him. Umpire backs away from the plate to his left. Time called for apparent reason here. 15 pitches in the inning for Crow. Started with 60s up to 75. Here he comes. 76. Popped up. Going to land on us again or in the stands? That's the second one on the top of the roof tonight? Or in the... Was that on top? Or in the stands? Near us, anyways. Out of play. It's a strike. 1-2 to Coral. He'd love to drive McAtee out there at second. Get the Warriors their second run of the night. Crow wants to end the inning right here. He checks McAtee, and here he comes to the plate. Coral, a soft grounder towards second. Into glove and over to first. That's Googler to Griffin. Coral retired 4-3, third out of the inning. Creek Kite lead off for the Warriors when they bat in the 7th. But the Warriors tally their first run of the night on a couple of hits. There was an error. They end up leaving one on base. 17 pitches for Crow to get through that inning. He's up to 77 in the game. Mediapolis will come to bat in the bottom of the 6th when we come back after this 60-second break. You're tuned into Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Tumble Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at I'm Missouri Seed.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissom. Spring sports season, senior awards, the start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here in Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
Alrighty, back with you live from Mediapolis, Iowa. We're going to the bottom of the 6th where the Warriors trail 8-1. Just wanted to get those changes for you when Isaac Leffler came in to pitch. Gavin Knoll from right field exited the game. McAtee went from left to right. Coral went from the mound to left. Leffler went from third to first, and Kirkhart entered the game for Knoll to play third base. Here we go. Leffler back on the mound. First offering to the first hitter for Mediapolis is a ball. 1-0. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 up for the Bulldogs. It's right now number 22, Max Griffin, the junior first baseman. Next pitch to him, ball 2. 2-0 to Griffin. He flew out to left in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice. Scored a run in the third. Leffler ready, coming to him. Swing and a miss. Skipped underneath Creek Kite, but that's only strike 1. 2-1 to Griffin, and then struck out swinging in the fourth. So, Leffler ahead, behind in the count. 2-1. Griffin bounces that one to second for Urach. Over to Caston, and they retire Max Griffin, 4-3 on the putout. First out of the inning. So like I was saying, Max Griffin was 0 for 3. Now he's 0 for 4. Up next is number 4, Henry Lutenegger, the sophomore center fielder. Leffler bounced one in there low and outside. First offering to Lutenegger, it's 1-0. Lutenegger. And then Flute popped out to third. Swing and a miss by him. Evening the count at 1-1. So he's 1 for 3 with that single, couple of runs scored. After, the second one after he reached on an air. Isaac Leffler to the plate. Foul ball. Must have hit him in the batter's box or touched in foul territory by Kite. One of the two. It's a dead ball. 1-2 now to the Mediapolis center fielder. Leffler had 21 pitches when he came in to pitch in the fifth. He's got 7 more. Swing and a miss. He gets a swinging strikeout of Henry Lutenegger and a breaking ball. Down on strike, second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Isaac Leffler on the mound. Up next for Mediapolis is Braden Oliver, number 9, senior left fielder. In there from the right side, Leffler breaking ball, missed. 1-0 to Oliver, 375 coming into tonight. He was hit by a pitch in the second, reached on an air, scored a run in the third. Here comes Leffler to him, too far outside on a breaking ball. 2-0. And then Oliver singled, scored a run in the fifth. So he's 1 for 2, a couple of runs scored, also hit by a pitch. Leffler bounced that one in there. 3-0 to him. Oliver ahead of Leffler, 3-0 here. Nobody on for Mediapolis, but they lead 8-1 here, bottom of the sixth. Leffler to the plate. Called strike. Isaac trying to get back in the count, 3-1. Looks like 2-1 over there in the softball game, in the bottom of the seventh. Inside to Oliver, issues his second walk. So, Oliver down to first, 1 on, 2 out for Mediapolis. Up next for them is number 7, Cale Wishmeyer, sophomore designated hitter tonight. Leffler out of the stretch now. Checks Oliver at first. There he goes, coming to the plate. That one grounded to short. Couple of bounces. Millard, gloves, throws. Caston scoop it. He did. Nice play by Caston at first to scoop that one out and help Kinnick Millard and Isaac Leffler get out of that inning. So Wishmeyer retired 6-3 on the putout, third out of the inning. Googler would lead off if Mediapolis needs to bat in the seventh. 14 pitches for Leffler to get through that inning. 35 for him in the game. Mediapolis runs, no hits. There were no errors. They leave one on that walk to Oliver. So the Warriors down to their last ups here in the top of the seventh, trailing 8-1. We'll be back in 60 seconds for those Warrior last up, see if they can put some runs on the board. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Autumnal Radio YouTube channel, also over the air at 92.7 KTWA.
Tugboat Transportation is located on 1st Street in Bonaparte, in scenic Van Buren County. Tugboat Transportation is a trucking business offering trucking services, motor freight, and self-storage. For more information, contact Mark with Tugboat Transportation at 319-592-3199. That's 319-592-3199. I got a pair of clogged toilets.
2 pair, dripping faucets, and leaking pipes.
Full house, boys. Flooded basement, ruined water heater, and a wild card, broken sump pump.
Gentlemen, whatever your plumbing issue may be, call Roto-Rooter on Gateway Drive in Ottumwa. The drain cleaning and plumbing experts, residential and commercial, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, and one more thing. A royal flush always beats a full house.
That's a bunch of crap.
First pitch from Kyler Crow here to Cree Kite, popped up behind second base. Second baseman back on the outfield grass. He'll make the catch. That's Googler retiring. Cree Kite is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts in that pop out to second. First out of the inning. Warriors down to their final 2 outs. It's 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Kite, McKinney, and Caston for the Warriors. McKinney drew walk in the second, struck out in the fifth. He's 0 for 1 with that walk. Crow still on the mound. McKinney fouls that one back into the fence. 0-1 to him. A lot of cheering over there at the softball diamond. It was 2-1. Somebody hit a home run, maybe, it looks like. Got a lot of runners around on the base. Not sure who the cheering is for. It's tied at 5-2. Mediapolis just took the lead. Here comes Crow. That's the softball game I was talking about. McKinney takes the strike. 0-2. Walk-off for grand slam. It was 2-1. Wow. Excitement over there on the softball diamond. Crow ready. Here he comes to McKinney. McKinney follows that one back into the screen. We'll do it again from 0-2. I believe, here we're looking at each other in the press box here, that was all the shouting was about, a walk-off grand salami for Mediapolis to make a 2-1 score 5-2 and walk it off with the win. Wow. There was a lot of noise coming over that way. It made everybody here in the press box look. So I think the softball game a final now. 0-2 to McKinney. Base is empty, 1 out. Mediapolis leads 8-1 here. Outside corner missed. 1-2 now to McKinney. McKinney playing center field tonight for the Warriors, still looking for his first hit on the year. Kyler Crow has this sign, lifts the left leg to the plate. McKinney fouls that one off, hanging tough, left side out of play. We'll do it again from 1-2. Crow started this inning with 77 total pitches. He's got 6 so far. He's up to 83. Pitch count not too much trouble right now. He's ready in the next one. McKinney check swing. Taken for a ball. Close pitch on the inside part of the plate. That'll even the count at 2-2 to Eli. Eli's ready. So is Crow. Here comes the offering. That one swung on. Soft pop-up behind second base. Can anybody get to it? A diving attempt. And a catch by the center fielder, Henry Lutenegger, coming in and to his left, charging hard on a soft fly ball to retire Eli McKinney. He almost had his first hit of the year, but he's out now. Warriors trail 8-1. They're down to their last out here. The bottom of the 7th. Here comes Dan Caston, number 6, freshman first baseman. Takes one, a little high and in. 1-0. Dan Caston tonight with a ground out to third and a single. He's 1 for 2. Didn't have any average coming into tonight. He'll have one now after that hit. Crow to the plate. Breaking ball lands for a strike. That'll even the count at 1-1 to Caston. In there from the right side, Warrior first baseman tonight. Crow's got his sign. He comes set, always working out of the stretch and to the plate. Breaking ball, landed another one. He's got Caston thinking about that breaking ball now. Warriors down to their final strike. It's 1-2 to Dan Caston. Breaking ball, grounded softly to short, charged, glove by Gunn, throw on the run to Griffin, and they got him. That's a nice infield play there by Gannon Gunn to retire Dan Caston. 6-3 on the putout, third out of the inning. So that'll make this one a final now, as 12 pitches for Kyler Crow to get through that 7th. 89 total for him on the night. And Mediapolis gets another win, 8-1 over the Van Buren County Warriors tonight in Southeast Iowa Super Conference South Division play. That'll take us to the post-game show, sponsored by the Van Buren Community School District, where they have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, county-wide. Well, you know how it works. They'll do a couple of 3-minute breaks. We'll start this post-game show with a 3-minute break. That'll give me a chance to add up the totals and summaries. And when we come back after that 3-minute break, we'll talk about it. So stay tuned for the post-game show here, sponsored by the Van Buren County Community School District. We'll be back with it after this 3-minute break. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 3 minutes.
This is Jeremy with Cranston Family Funeral Home. I want to take a moment and say thank you, not for choosing for standing in line at visitations and hugging people you maybe haven't seen in years. That is what makes our communities feel like home. At Cranston Family Funeral Home, we don't believe in flashy promises. We believe in showing up quietly, respectfully, and doing the work that matters when it matters most. So from our family to yours, thank you. We see you, we are grateful for you, and we'll be here when you need us.
Are you thinking about or ready to and we will transform your dreams into reality? By using our 3D computer-aided design system, you can see and walk through your dream project. After your project is designed, we can generate a detailed material list to see if it fits within your budget. Contact Mike or Josh at Dowd's Lumber and Home Center to get your project started today. 641-936-7115 or check us out at dowdslumber.com.
Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. Iowa Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at Iowa Missouri Seed.
This is Van Buren County Superintendent Jeremy Hissom. Spring sports season, senior awards, the start of summer sports, end of year banquets, and graduation have us all full of energy, and there's definitely a buzz in the air. We want to send best wishes to all students who are graduating or moving to another school next year, as well as to any staff member retiring or moving to a new chapter in life. New chapters are always exciting times because you get to choose how they are written. We wish you the best. Here at Van Buren County, we have one goal: be a great school for all kids. Warrior Pride, countywide.
This is Milo Wells with Wells Hometown Drug in Bloomfield. Our goal here is to go above and beyond your expectations for the role that a pharmacy can play in you and your family's health. Since we have opened here, many things have changed. We've added experienced staff, updated our facilities, added clinical services like strep throat test and treat, and free liquid medication flavoring. One thing that has not changed is the vision of providing our patients with access to the best pharmacy services anywhere in the state. We, like many of you, believe Southeast Iowa is an amazing place to live, and we will continue to be committed to improving the lives of our patients.
Tiffany here. The best things in life are a nice spring day, a tasty treat, and a great deal. That's right, a great deal. So why not swing by Dowd's Quick Stop? Savor our barbecue chicken pizza or classic cheeseburger and fries combo. Craving something sweet? Our ice cream is on and is the best around. Dive into our spring fun with our specialty pizza starting at $17.99. Visit us today in Dowd's and follow us on Facebook at Dowd's Quick Stop for more delicious deals. Stop by for a quick taste of spring.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Atomo Radio Group Sports Network.
Alrighty, back with you here from Mediapolis, Iowa, where we've just completed boys high school varsity baseball in the Southeast Iowa Super Conference South Division tonight. Mediapolis getting an 8-1 win over our very own Van Buren County Warriors. The totals from tonight's game: Mediapolis, 8 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. They left 9 on base. For the Warriors, 1 run on 3 hits, 3 errors. They left 3 on base. Winning pitcher, Kyler Crow. Losing pitcher, Will Coral. Time of the game, 1 hour and 36 minutes to complete this one here from Mediapolis tonight. Let's take a look at the scoring summary so we can wrap that up for you. Bottom of the first, a Crow triple scored Will Lutenegger to make it 1-0 Mediapolis. Still in the bottom of the first, a Doty sac fly scored Crow to make it 2-0 Mediapolis after 1 inning of play. Bottom of the second, a Googler sac fly scored Henry Lutenegger to make it 3-0 Mediapolis after 2 innings. Bottom of the third, an Oliver grounder and an error by the Warriors scored 2 Griffin and Henry Lutenegger. That made it 5-0 Mediapolis. Still in the bottom of the third, Oliver scored on a wild pitch to make it 6-0 Mediapolis after 3. Bottom of the fourth, a Doty groundout scored Will Lutenegger to make it 7-0 Mediapolis after 4. Bottom of the fifth, a Will Lutenegger grounder scored Oliver to make it 8-0 Mediapolis. That's all they would need tonight. The Warriors get their lone run in the top of the sixth as Isaac Leffler was at second, stole third. I can tell you how Leffler reached. He reached on an infield single, stole second, then was stealing the third, and or moved to second, then was trying to steal third and error by the Mediapolis catcher, throwing it down to third, trying to get him, went into left field. Isaac was able to come around third and score, giving the Warriors their only run of the night, and that made it our final score at 8-1. Mediapolis Bulldogs getting the win over the Van Buren County Warriors here in Boys High School varsity baseball here tonight. Those were the totals, and summaries will decide on a Warrior player of the game here in our final break, and then we'll come back and wrap it up for you one final time from Mediapolis. We got enough ads in, so we'll probably just make this a 1-minute break and come back and wrap things up for you, as we got an hour-and-a-half drive back to Keosauqua. It was a lot of fun broadcasting the game tonight. So we'll take our final 1-minute break and then come back. And I should mention this is the Warrior Baseball postgame show brought to you by the Van Buren Community School District, where they have one goal: be a great school for all kids, Warrior Pride countywide. We'll go over all our sponsors one more time and wrap it up when we come back after this 1-minute break. 8-1, Mediapolis defeats the Warriors here in Boys High School varsity baseball in the Super Conference tonight from Mediapolis. Back with you in 60 seconds. You're tuned in to Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Ottumwa Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. Back with you in 60 seconds.
I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua. As the hay and pasture seeding season wraps up, it's time to start thinking about summer annuals and cover crops after wheat. When you're looking to improve your farm profit or grazing efficiency, call me, Ryan, at 319-293-3114, because you're not just buying seed, you're gaining a partner committed to quality and exceptional service for farmers. I'm Missouri Seed of Keosauqua, your dedicated seed expert. Let me help you grow your success. That number again is 319-293-3114, or visit us on Facebook at I'm Missouri Seed.
This is Jeremy with Cranston Family Funeral Home. I want to take a moment and say thank you, not for choosing our funeral home, although we're deeply honored when you do, but for showing up for your neighbors, for supporting small businesses, for standing in line at visitations and hugging people you maybe haven't seen in years. That is what makes our communities feel like home. At Cranston Family Funeral Home, we don't believe in flashy promises. We believe in showing up quietly, respectfully, and doing the work that matters when it matters most. So from our family to yours, thank you. We see you, we are grateful for you, and we'll be here when you need us.
We're back with the Van Buren County Warriors on the Ottumwa Radio Group Sports Network.
Alrighty, back with you for a final time here from Mediapolis, Iowa tonight, where Mediapolis Bulldogs defeated the Van Buren County Warriors by a score of 8-1 in Boys High School varsity baseball in the Southeast Iowa Super Conference South Division. This is the Warrior Baseball postgame show, sponsored by the Van Buren County Community School District, where they have one goal: be a great school for all kids, Warrior Pride countywide. Kind of tough to pick out a player of the game tonight for the Warriors. Not a lot of offense. You know, Will Coral did a pretty good job on the mound, but how about Dan Caston getting his first varsity hit tonight, playing a good first base there for the Warriors. A couple of nice scoops to help his fellow infielders out. So we'll go with that. Player of the game tonight, Dan Caston, getting his first varsity hit and getting some valuable experience. The player of the game for Warrior Baseball, brought to you by Wells Hometown Drug. Milo and his staff there. They're in Bloomfield and Keosauqua. And don't forget to ask them about free delivery or curbside pickup options. All right, we can get to our closing stuff now. Let's see, we went through the player of the game. That was Dan Caston. I'd like to thank my board operator, Kyle Smith, for hanging with us at the studio tonight, making the broadcast run smoothly for not only us, but for you, the viewing and listening audience. I'd like to thank the viewers and the listeners, no matter how you chose to make us part of this broadcast, part of your evening tonight. We're streaming live on the Ottumwa Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at 92.7 KTWA. If you were viewing or listening in, hey, a big thanks for doing so. We couldn't do it without you. If you got us on the postgame show, please drive home safely if you're leaving the park, and we'll be following you, and we'll make sure that we do the same. As I always do in the postgame show, I'd like to thank our sponsors one final time: Iowa Missouri Seeds, Van Buren Community School District, Cranston Family Funeral Home, Dowd's Lumber and Home Center, Smithburg Automotive, Dowd's Quick Stop, Pilot Grove Savings Bank, Van Buren County Hospital, Wells Hometown Drug, Crane Concrete Ready Mix, First Iowa State Bank, Roto-Rooter, Slayton Polaris, Tugboat Transportation, and Wasco Hardware. If you're in the area and need some local business, please make sure you give these sponsors a chance. They're a huge part of why these sporting events can be brought to you on YouTube and over the air right here through the Ottumwa Radio Sports Network. If you're not currently a sponsor of Warrior Sports and would like to be, you got to get a hold of Margie at TomoRadio.com. She would be more than happy to set you up with an ads package that's to your liking. You can feel good about getting your business name out over the air on YouTube or on the radio at 92.7 KTWA, but you can feel even better about sponsoring Van Buren County Warrior Sports. Once again, Margie at TomoRadio.com if you would like to sponsor Warrior Sports. Totals and final, once again, one more time for you. Mediapolis, 8 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. They left 9 on base. Van Buren County, 1 run on 3 hits, 3 errors. They left 3 on base. Crow, the winning pitcher, and Coral, the loser. Our next broadcast, the busy week of Warrior Baseball continues. We'll be right back with you tomorrow night, back from the Ferguson Sports Complex in Keosauqua. West Burlington, another conference throw, comes to town. That'll be a 5:30 scheduled first pitch. AJ and I will be on the air about 5:10 p.m. That's going to about do it here for us. On behalf of my cameraman and on-site producer, Mr. A.J. Rowe, my name is Shan Moquin, your play-by-play and radio voice of the Warriors. Back again for the sports seasons of the 2024-25 school year. We'll wish you a very pleasant rest of your Thursday evening and say so long to you from Mediapolis, Iowa, here at Mediapolis High School. Final score, once again, Warriors lose by a score of 8-1. We will talk to you next tomorrow night from the Ferguson Sports Complex. The Warriors get another chance to get that first win of the year overall and in the Super Conference as the West Burlington Falcons will come to town. 5:30 first pitch, 5:10 air time. Until then, you've been listening to Warrior and viewing Warrior Baseball, streaming live on the Atomo Radio YouTube channel, also on the air at your home for today's hits and yesterday's favorites, 92.7 KTWA and Atomo Radio Sports Group Station. One final time,